Two men in the Bible never died. And one of them simply disappeared. In Genesis, Enoch is described in just one line. He walked with God. And he was no more. No death. No burial. No explanation. But outside the Bible, in the ancient book of Enoch, his story doesn't end there. Enoch describes being taken beyond the earth, shown places no human was meant to see. So the real question is, was Enoch taken because he was different? Or because he knew something? If Adam lived into the generations before the flood, then knowledge didn't just disappear. It was passed down. And Enoch may have been the one who carried it beyond this world. Next, we uncover the man who was taken in a chariot of fire. But before that, do you think Enoch is still alive somewhere? Enoch disappeared without a trace. But the second man? He left in fire. In 2 Kings, Elijah isn't buried. He's taken. A chariot of fire, horses of fire, and a whirlwind that pulled him into the sky. This wasn't quiet like Enoch. This was seen, witnessed, recorded. So now there are 2 men from completely different times. Taken, not killed. Before the flood, Enoch walked with God. After the flood, Elijah stood against a corrupted world. What if they weren't just taken, but preserved? Because there's a third mystery. A man with no beginning and no end. If Enoch and Elijah were taken, then where were they taken to? And more importantly, are they still there? Enoch was taken. Elijah was taken. But this man was never introduced and never ended. In Genesis, a man appears out of nowhere. No origin, no lineage, no explanation. His name, Melchizedek. He blesses Abraham, then disappears from the timeline, like he was never meant to be tracked. But later, Scripture describes him as without father, without mother, without beginning of days, or end of life. So now we have 3 figures: Enoch, Elijah, and Melchizedek. One was taken quietly, one was taken in power, and one doesn't follow time at all. What if these weren't just events, but a pattern? Because if they were chosen, then something bigger is happening. Next, we uncover what connects them all. But first, who do you think Melchizedek really was? 3 men from different times, all breaking the same rule: death. Enoch, taken without death. Elijah, taken in fire. Melchizedek, never bound by time. They weren't kings of empires. They weren't warriors. They were chosen differently. In Genesis, before the flood. In 2 Kings, after the flood. And in between, a man outside the timeline. What if they weren't just taken? What if they were preserved for something that hasn't happened yet? Because patterns don't exist by accident, especially when they repeat across time. And if there's a pattern, then it means we're still inside it. But there's one final question: why them? What did they have that others didn't? Next, we uncover the real reason they were chosen. But first, do you think this is coincidence or design? 3 men didn't die, not because they escaped death, but because they were selected. Enoch walked with God and was taken. Elijah stood against corruption and was taken. Melchizedek existed beyond time and was never removed. They all had one thing in common: alignment. Not perfection, not power, but alignment with something higher than their world. From Adam to the flood to the generations after, something was being preserved. Not just people, but knowledge, purpose, connection. So the question isn't just why they were chosen. The question is, what are you aligned with? Because the pattern didn't end with them. It continued. And if something was being preserved, then something must have tried to corrupt it. Next, we uncover the first rebellion. The beings who broke the order of heaven.